is saying that, yeah, you got to be all excited for him to split his time between you and someone else, or split his attention between you and someone else. No one is saying that. Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's your coach, Coach Nyla, one of the co-founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as co-author of the book, Let's Talk Polygyny, Uncensored. And in this video, I'm going to talk about a topic that can be very triggering because of the way that I'm going to explain it or put it or whatever the case may be. And it's talking about our husband's polygynous nature. And of course, this video is for those wives whose husbands are practicing polygyny, or who are looking to practice polygyny, or who want to practice polygyny, and we just don't understand why. Sometimes we may be accepting of it, but that don't mean that we really understand it. And as much as I try to be as objective as possible, because a lot of people just think that I don't feel, but I do. I have a lot of different feelings and emotions and things like that when it comes to the topic of polygyny, whether it comes to the subject of that. However, I do, because of a lot of personal development, because of a lot of study, because of a lot of trying to understand all sides involved, I try to come at things in a more logical point of view when it comes to those things. It doesn't mean that I don't understand the feelings that go along with it. I've dealt with a number of feelings that go along with polygyny, good feelings, bad feelings, indifferent feelings, all those different things like that. However, when it comes down to it, to try to kind of understand, not even just try to understand, but really understand ourselves as wives a whole lot more, and not taking our husband's polygynous nature personally. Because when it comes down to it, you can have, whether you're a first wife or whether you're a subsequent wife, meaning incoming wife, second wife, third, fourth, or whatever the case may be. Because people think that it seems to be a type of verses that goes on between the wives where the first wife is going through so much pain and the second wife or incoming wife would never understand that, or they probably go through insecurities and pain too, but it's not as much as the first wife. That's not what we're talking about. It should never be a versus between people, period, when it comes to being part of the same family, being married to the same man, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes it will be because just with competitive nature, people are competitive, whether it's women, whether it's men, people are people and people are competitive. So I can't say it shouldn't be a competitive nature. It is what it is, because sometimes being competitive allows us to be better us's, so to speak. And not that you want someone to lose, it's just that you don't want to not be the best that you can possibly be. And sometimes being the best that you can possibly be may mean that someone may have to, give you a little push of competition. I know that sounds really bad and crazy and everything like that, but as I said, look at it from a non-biased position and look at it as a logical and not so emotionally attached to the situation, and kind of look at it logically. That's why I'm able to speak the way I do and feel the way I do about certain things, because I'm told that I'm an overthinker, that I think a lot, and that I overthink things. But usually when I do that, it actually helps me understand things a whole lot more. It helps me to navigate through things a whole lot more and a lot better. So I don't get crushed or hurt or feeling some type of way and thinking of things that don't exist, or creating scenarios or creating things that doesn't exist. Now, don't get me wrong, there may be some scenarios that do. We have to understand, how do we deal with our feelings, how we deal with our emotions, how do we do those things? And a lot of times it's not taking our husband's polygynous nature personally. Men we would never understand why would someone take on more responsibility. I know people want to demonize men and say, oh, well, they just want what they want, and they want more women, they want more sex, and they want these things. And that's not necessarily the case. Now, yes, does that come with the territory? Most likely it will. But if that is the main thing, and even if that is a thing that he's looking for, then once again, usually that comes for a reason, not just because he just want more sex. Men's nature is to procreate, create a legacy, build communities, and all these other things like that. So whether they understand it in a logical way that's so cut and dry like that may not be always the case, but because that's in their nature. There are things that we do as women that's in our nature that we can't always explain unless we really sit down and logically think about it. When it comes down to it, sometimes we buy with emotion. Like when we buy things, we purchase it on emotion, but then we justify it with logic. That goes with a lot of things in our lives, and that can also go through polygyny, because the emotion that can be there is that I would like more. And more can be meaning more children. More can be meaning more responsibility, which is crazy for us to even think of it. But sometimes a man's nature means that I would like to do more. I would like to be more. So in order to do that, I would have to have more responsibility. I would have to have more challenge. I would have to have more of those things in my life. So when it comes down to it, a lot of the reasons why husbands choose polygyny is because they do want to be more. They want to be better. Now, you do have people out there who can be predators and will prey on individuals because they want to collect women. Those are the ones we do have to watch out for. But that's not the majority. That's not the majority of the people that's there. And if you are married already and you have a good husband and you know he's a good husband and he's talking to you about polygyny, he's talking to you about possibly wanting to marry again, take some time out to kind of sort through the emotions and look at the logic behind it and try to understand his part. And I know that there will be people that won't like that and won't like that I'm saying that, because they're like, what about me? What about me? This is what I'm saying about not taking that personally, not taking that he will want to marry again, that he's trying to hurt you, and to use that as a tool of manipulation to say, well, if you love me, you wouldn't do that. If you love me, you wouldn't want to hurt me because this hurts me, things like that. It causes, it can cause some issues with trust, period. It can cause issues with him thinking that you have his back. Not saying that you have to throw a party and, have banners up and balloons and streamers and everything like that because this is what he wants to do. That's not what I'm asking you. That's not what I'm saying to you. Because when it comes down to it, no one is saying that, yeah, you got to be all excited for him to split his time between you and someone else, or split his attention between you and someone else. No one is saying that.
I have an important announcement to make, an exciting announcement to make. It's been my goal for 2022 to be able to serve more people because my one-on-one coaching is full. So now I'm able to open up my group coaching so you can be a better you in 2022. I'm so excited about it. And the wait list has been growing day by day by day. So make sure you sign up for the wait list. You want to be a part of this? Sign up for the wait list. Check it out, CoachNyla.com. I'll see you on the other side. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
What we're saying is that sometimes the things that we could dislike, that can be something that we're thinking that's bad for us, can be good for us. And we know that the Muslims who are watching this understand that, because it talks about that in Quran. We may want something, or we may like something or we may dislike something that's good for us and like something that's bad for us. And I'm totally paraphrasing, but we know that because there can be times where it's helping us to grow, it's helping us to be better, it's helping us to reach higher heights and new levels of a better understanding with our husbands and a closer relationship with our husbands. So it can do a lot of things if we are looking to have it in a positive, or go through it or navigate it in a positive manner. And how we do that is try to be understanding, being understanding enough by taking the personal out of it and saying, you know what, why does he want this? And if you want to really understand it, still, as I stated before, take that personal out of it, because it's not personal. I know some people say, well, I'm not going to be able to do all the things, and maybe I am deficient, and he wants someone to do these things, and I'm not the one that's doing these things. That's when it all comes down to it. If you want to be better at those things, be better at those things. If it's something that you're just not willing to do, just still understand that it's still not a personal thing for you, that he's not disliking you, that he doesn't think that you're not adequate, or that's not the things that's going through his head. It's I want these things, and this is what I am going, that's what I would like to have. And in addition to having that, is going to help me be a better person, and be a better husband to you, as well as be a better person to the person who I'm marrying, and things as far as that. And as much as I try to explain it, as much as I try to put it out, of course there's a bunch of kids behind me, so you probably can hear that. But those who want to hear it and those who want to understand it will try to hear it and will try to understand it. Those who don't, they will create the scenarios. They will place the blame. They will talk about how this is not fair and everything like that. So there's not much I can do about that. Those who are willing to learn and listen and have better relationships, if their husband is talking to them about polygyny, if their husband married again, if their husband, if they are an incoming wife and the husband is married, their incoming wife, you know that the husband is married, or your future husband or whatever is married, there are going to be these different things that you have to understand, because I also know there are some incoming wives or subsequent wives that have found themselves in a position where they were like, oh my gosh, I know that I was coming in very loving and caring, and I had these good intentions, but now that he's thinking about marrying again, taking on a third wife or fourth wife or whatever the case may be, that now I'm feeling some type of way, because I don't know if she'll be that way, if she'll be like me or whatever the case. But you have to understand that, if you married a good man, you married a person that's very leader driven, leadership driven, very understanding, very fair, that's someone that is actually putting their spirituality, their deen, ahead of everything else, that's striving to be better, that's doing these things, and he's not going to choose wrong. He didn't choose wrong with choosing you. I'm pretty sure he didn't. So why would he choose wrong, and he would become dumber and just choose wrong as the time goes on? So sometimes we have to realize that we have to let go of the control and let go of the reins when it comes to our husband's decisions and our husband's choices, because that's what it is. And yes, we have our own choices too. We have our own choices that we have to make as well. Sometimes we may choose that we do not want, because I'm not going to say we cannot deal with it. I'm saying we choose not to deal with it. We don't want to deal with it, because of whatever the case may be, because it could be a number of things. But a lot of it does come down to that, I don't want to work like this. I will have certain things in my head playing that, what if this, what ifs, the different things that can cause this insecurities and drama and problems and challenges within your marriage. So it said, you know what? Well, in order for me to not deal with this, I'll just leave. I'll just go. I'll just ask for a divorce instead of working hard to keep a marriage that was good before. That the only thing that changed was that he married again. And that's what I'm talking about, those type of marriages. Not one that he decided to just be totally unfair, or he already was on something different, or whatever the case may be. Once again, we still have our own choices to make. So this conversation can go on and on and on. I've done videos on this before, and I'll continue to do more videos on it, because I really do want us as wives, to understand whether you're incoming wife or whether you're initial wife. Because I know, like I said, I will hear the things in the comments, I'll see the stuff, and it will be once again those verses where it's like, well, you don't understand because you haven't been through that. I've been through more things than our audience know, and I understand on so many different levels. For one, I'm empath. For two, I'm overthinker. For three, that I've been through a lot of things that people just don't understand or know about, and that I don't care to totally put out there because the stories will be way too long, and it's right now not even, it's not relevant. So when it comes down to it, it's just that I would love for us to work on ourselves, get really heavily immersed in personal development, learn different things about psychology, our own psychology, our own feelings, our own emotions, and increase that intelligence, increase, the just the good in it all and the maturity of it all. That's the word I was looking for, the maturity of it all. So make sure that is something that you are doing if you want to have an outstanding relationship, an outstanding marriage with your husband, whether he is thinking about polygyny, whether he's not thinking about polygyny, whether he talks to you about polygyny, or whether he already embarked on a polygynous journey. Because men are polygynous by nature. It's just a choice of whether they decide if they want to practice it or not. So hope you guys got some good information from this. If you did and you think this could benefit someone, definitely share, because sharing is caring. And if you made it this far, congratulations. And in the comments, hey, let me know what's your favorite color. If you guys didn't know, my favorite color is pink. I love pink. I just do. I love other colors too, but pink I really, really love. So anyway, that's just mine. But put your favorite color in the comments if you made it this far, and make sure you are following us on our social media channels. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that and click that notification bell so you are notified when we go live and when we release new videos, which is fairly often. So until next time, make sure you are growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. It's Coach Nyla. Inshallah, God willing, I will see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Here are 3 ways outstanding personal relationships can help you.
Make sure you guys are following us on our social medias at Outstanding Personal Relationships on YouTube and Facebook, and on IG at Outstanding Relationships.
And make sure you sign up for our email list, and you can actually email us at support@Outstanding Personal Relationships, where you will get updates on our new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored, as well as exclusive access to our lives and bonuses.
Absolutely. If you're looking for more polygyny education, make sure you visit polygamymasterclass.com. Now, if you're looking for coaching or counseling with either Coach Fatimah or Coach Nyla, you can find them at.
Make sure you visit me at CoachFatimah.com.
And myself at CoachNyla.com.
That's how we can help you. Assalamu alaikum.
Peace.